Dragi gledatelji, dobrodošli. Ja sam Ines Žižić, a vi gledate Atma podcast. U današnjem online podcastu imam čast ugostiti svjetski poznato lice, popularnu argentinsku autoricu i predavačicu Mabel Katz. Mabel Katz je trenutno vodeći svjetski autoritet za Ho-oponopono, drevnu tehniku rješavanja problema i stvaranja sklada, autorica serijala knjiga pod naslovom Najlakši način te vrlo tražena predavačica i govornica. Mabel Katz je učila ovo znanje 10 godina od samog doktora Hulena, psihologa i legendarnog učitelja Ho-oponopona, te je za svoja dostignuća primila mnoge pohvale na nacionalnoj i na svjetskoj razini. U susret njenom skorašnjem gostovanju u Zagrebu i u Beogradu, Mabel će nas danas upoznati sa, kako ona kaže, najjednostavnijom tehnikom za rješavanje problema i stvaranje skladnog života. Pa krenimo! Mabel, welcome. I'm very much honored to have you on Atma podcast.
Thank you so much for your invitation, Ines.
As I said in my announcement, you are soon coming to Croatia. You will give 2-day seminar, and it's about, of course, on Ho-oponopono practice. Precisely in Zagreb, it will be on 3rd and 4th of December. And for our viewers from Serbia, you will also come to Belgrade on 17th and 18th of December. So
Perfect,
all
yes.
the details, I must say that all the details about seminars, you can find in the description of the podcast. So let's get into the subject of this ancient technique
Yes.
with such a complicated name. But as you describe it, it's the easiest way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ho-oponopono.
Ho-oponopono. It has some
Perfect.
charm, some rhythmic inside it. It makes you
Yes.
dance. Ho-oponopono.
Exactly. And it means how to correct an error. It's a Hawaiian word. This is an ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving. And it means how to correct an error, because everything is like the monitor showing us, or the screen showing us errors that are inside of us that we can work on, let go, erase, clean. Those are all the terms that we use in Ho-oponopono to set ourselves free.
Amazing. So you already started with describing it, but for the viewers who are for first time hearing about this concept, what is actually Ho-oponopono, and what are its basic principles? What can be achieved by practicing it?
Ines, for me, it became like a philosophy of life. How to see problems as opportunities. Like everything, there is always a blessing, behind a problem. Because again, the possibility of correction, the possibility of amendment. So the idea is that we are here to find out who we really are. And Ho-oponopono helps you because it erases everything that you are not. You are not your thoughts, you are not your beliefs, your opinions, judgments. So the idea is to let go of all of that and become the observer, not to engage so much, not to identify, not even identify with your body or your name or how much you have in the bank. So again, like I said before, a way of setting yourself free. So includes 100% responsibility. Some people have problems with 100% responsibility, but that really sets you free. That means you created it, you can change it because it is inside of you. You don't depend on others to change or things to change, to be happy or to be at peace.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. So many questions arise in my mind with you hearing these words. So first of all, you say we are not this body, we are not this mind, but Mabel, who we are? I think it's very important question, who we are in our essence, and what is the ultimate purpose of human life? I think it's very important to define that in the beginning so we can have good concepts to build upon. Yeah.
Sure. So in Ho-oponopono, we work again, who am I? The most important question in creation. So realizing that we are a soul that decided to incarnate, to have experiences, or like, again, to make amends, to repair. Most of our problems come from past lives, from ancestors. And again, we are really the observer, that soul that chose to come here to correct, that chose to come to have experience, to chose to go into the forgettingness, to forget who it is, so that it could find out again, yes, to re-encounter ourselves, yes, reconnect with our real essence. So what happened is we forgot who we are, so we are completely lost in life, engaging with absolutely everything, taking things personal, and that's why we are so unhappy.
Yes, and also you were speaking about it's important topic in Ho-oponopono, this topic of responsibility. I noticed, especially in the last few years, that so many people have problem with this. I mean, it's very kind of fashionable, trendy to feel offended, to play victim, to feel oppressed, to blame others, to cancel. Why are some people having so much problem with taking responsibility? What's the bottom line?
I think that when you play victim, you do have some benefits. Once I read something from Osho that says why we don't let go of what makes us miserable. It's because we also have to let go of the benefit. So, for example, if you are a victim, maybe people takes care of you. You don't have to worry about certain things. Or, I mean, people will deny it, will say, how come I will have a benefit? But if you look at it, once we were working on this on one of my zero frequency seminars, and actually a person raised her hand and she says, Mabel, I'm not going to play the cancer game anymore because I realized that my kids will call me anyway, or they will care about me anyway, even if I don't have cancer. So again, sometimes we play those games so that we can get some benefit. We don't do it consciously, but there is a benefit. So there are no victims because everything is perfect in the universe, but we have free choice. So you can choose. Something happened to you and you choose to see yourself as a victim, but there are no victims because again, everything is correct. It's an opportunity to correct, to make amends. It's an opportunity to become better, stronger. Usually problems make us stronger.
Yes, of course, but people try to avoid it on all costs. They don't realize that the problems are kind of really making them stronger. And also this topic of responsibility is such a big issue, especially today with the youth, because
yes.
The cancel culture is like rampant. So I love this what you're saying, because
what yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you say.
No, because also, Ines, people think that spirituality is doing nothing.
Yes.
Or they said, how come Ho-oponopono, something so easy, you just say thank
it's
you,
like
just say I love you.
Escaping from real problems. Yeah.
Exactly. You let go and trust? I mean, you are very irresponsible. But like you said, 100% responsibility. I mean, it takes courage to take 100% responsibility. Stop blaming and complaining. It is work. Look at yourself, knowing that you are the one that has to change. So spirituality is work. And like you said, people don't want to do it.
What do you say to those people who might argue like, oh yes, this Ho-oponopono technique, I love you, sorry, it's like escape technique from facing with the real life? What do you say?
Yes.
On those?
Well, I just presented in Mexico City, and a husband that was brought, but his wife, he actually raised his hand and he says, Mabel, I kept listening to you, and he says, this woman is so irresponsible. and telling people to let go and trust. He says, but I started practicing and it really, really works. So what happened is this: when you let go and trust, you are giving permission to a part of you that knows better to take control. Right now, you are totally out of control because your intellect doesn't know anything. So you understand what I mean? We learned that we needed to think, to use our heads, or we heard, how come you're not worried? You're irresponsible. But the worst thing you can do when you have a problem is worry and think, because then you are alone and you are using a very small part of you, and a part that doesn't have any idea of the possibilities, or has the best solutions to your problems. So it's not like now we are like we don't care. It is about taking responsibility and giving the control to a part of us that knows. So I don't know if you heard, I'm sure you did, about Bruce Lipton,
Yes.
and he says, so now we are coming from a more scientific,
Let's do that.
point of view. And he says that we work with two antennas. You understand? And I've been telling people for many, many years, let's change stations, let's stop that intellect that is talking to you all the time. Now, if you want more scientific, I don't know if you heard of Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, the brain specialist from Harvard. She has a stroke, and she has a stroke on the left side, the left hemisphere of her brain, and she needed surgery and rehabilitation. She had to learn how to talk, how to eat, how to walk, everything again. But she writes this book because she remembers every step of the process. And she says that our intellect is always talking, making stories. So this doctor stops that by saying, thank you, but I'm busy. And he gives permission to her intellect to talk only 9 to 9:30 in the morning and 9 to 9:30 at night.
That's amazing.
And this is a brain scientist. You understand what I mean? Okay, then you have the work of Dr. Emoto, okay? Our thoughts, what happened to the water based on our thoughts? IKEA did an experiment with bullying to a plant in a school where the kids, say very nice things to one plant and they bully another one. And the one that they bully starts dying 30 days later. So you understand that we are so, powerful, that we create with our thoughts and our emotions. So Ho-oponopono helps us to be more in balance, to be more neutral, to be able not to engage. Ho-oponopono works on our reaction to the problem, not the problem.
That's amazing. Actually, it's a spiritual practice. It's like really way of life. It's not just some technique, you can, it's like really, it's really deep. So
because... it's really profound, and it has to become like your breathing, natural. Yes. Like all the time letting go, all the time allowing you to be guided for another part of you that knows better.
Why do you say that Ho-oponopono is the easiest way? Because there are some people who might say, well, it's easy for people who are grateful, who are loving, compassionate, kind of. But what about those people who are not like that, who don't have those qualities like naturally? It's not easiest for them.
Yeah. So in Ho-oponopono, first of all, the thank you and the I love you, you do not have to feel it. You don't have to mean it. Yeah, because it's like a passcode. You know how I define it? Ho-oponopono is the delete key in your computer. Instead of talking to the monitor, trying to convince the monitor to change, you just delete, and you don't have to feel like deleting. Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm gonna delete, and you smile. So thank you and I love you in Ho-oponopono, we don't have to say it or mean it, and you are not saying it to anybody outside. So my teacher, Dr. Ihaliakala, once heard divinity said, just tell them to say thank you. I know what they mean. So what is Ho-oponopono? Ho-oponopono is 100% responsibility. I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me, that this person is having this problem, or this person is insulting me, or that I have this problem, that my luggage was lost. You understand what I mean? So you try to be neutral in those situations. Again, because the problem is my reaction to the problem, not the problem. It's how I react. And I call it the easiest way because you will not find any other system that is easier than this one to work on those memories on your subconscious mind. And you work directly with divinity, okay? The way you understand divinity, okay? So it doesn't go against any religion. This is not a religion at all, etc., etc. So the idea is how to practice this in an easier way, by saying thank you, by saying I love you, by saying the 4 phrases, famous 4 phrases, by saying I let go and trust. Sometimes, when I have a problem, I say, I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry. So because I know that worry is reacting. Worry, it takes me to the future, and I'm not resolving anything. So the idea is how to be in balance. Ho-oponopono helps me to come back to present, to be in balance. It helps me to give permission to a part of me to intervene, to guide me, to protect me. So you're doing a lot of things in a very simple way.
I love the idea that you don't have to kind of feel it to understand and how does it work. It's working. It's like mantra, like it's a similar thing, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. You know how I told you Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor found a way to be present by saying thank you, but I'm busy. So what is it that will help you? We have a lot of tools. In the Ho-oponopono training, we learn a lot of ways to do it. And we learn also some tools that helps us to do this 24 hours, because the intellect will not choose to let go all the time. So it is the easiest way if you practice, but I understand that sometimes it's not easy to practice it because we are so used to, we are addicted to reacting. We are addicted to resisting all the time, to talking about everything that we don't like or we think we lack. Not forgiving, for example, makes you live in the past, and you are hurting yourself. So you understand, we have to re-educate ourselves, reprogram ourselves.
But is it better that we say consciously those words, those passcodes, I love you, thank you, that we really mean it? I think it might be more powerful.
Listen, if you don't need to, but everybody is unique, as you know. So you have to do what works for you. Because you know what happened, Ines, that let's say that you say, okay, it's more powerful because I'm thinking of this person that I'm cleaning with, I'm working on this problem. But you never know what you're working on, really, because they are all memories. So it's not actually that you are doing it to that person or that you have to think. You actually do not want to think. You want to be present. The thinking takes you off present.
Yeah, that's true. But so many people have problems today, and it's all-time high. This overthinking, overanalyzing, and anxieties. Yes. How to stop that? I mean, it's like an epidemic, of anxiety.
Yes, and more now than ever. Yes. So the idea is to live a more conscious life, to be as conscious as you can. That means you are gonna choose to let go instead of engaging. You are gonna choose to forgive instead of hurting yourself. You are gonna let go of the past so that you can be present. You are not gonna worry about the future so you can be present. Because in the present moment, you have everything you need. They realize that, and it's moment by moment. So you are creating your life depending on the decisions that you make in the present moment. So right now you are choosing, even you don't know you are choosing, because you are in automatic. So your memories are choosing and you are replaying. Yes. You repeat. So it is about saying, I'm going to be more present. I choose to be more present. I even choosing to be happy instead of right. That will make a big difference in your life.
Yes.
You understand? Because, or having the last word, who cares who's right? I'd rather be happy. So it is a choice moment by moment. But for that, you have to kind of observe yourself and make better decisions instead of going, like zombie. Because really, that's kind of how we do it.
Yes, because people mainly identify with their bodies, with their mind thoughts. They think I'm these thoughts. I have to think about this problem. I will come to solution, and like they are not experiencing present moment, and they are not aware. So this is a big problem. So that's why
Albert Einstein said you cannot use the same part of you that created the problem to find the solution.
Yes.
I mean, intellects do not solve problems.
What do intellect does do? It just
in Ho-oponopono, we actually learn that the only function of the intellect is to choose. It's the part of us that have the free choice. But we got completely out of the road. We got lost. And we think that we are the titles, the university titles, so that we need the university titles to be somebody or things like that. So we got really, to be honest with you, Ines, we have to go back to being children again. We need to trust more.
Yeah,
we need to know that we are not alone and that we don't know anything. We need to become humble.
I love it. Yeah.
That's kind of what happened to me. So I don't know if you know, I used to be a tax accountant.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
Especially. So imagine I went completely 180 degrees,
Yes.
And I'm telling you, so how did I start? I realized I had everything that a person thinks he needs to be happy, but I was very unhappy. It's because I was looking in the wrong places, thinking the houses or the titles or whatever, will having the family and the cars and, will make me happy. And one day I realized, no, I felt empty inside. And I didn't even know why I was always angry. And I was a thinker. I thought that I was very smart because I was thinking a lot, But then I realized, and I said, you know what? I'm going to let go and trust, and I started practicing letting go and trusting even to those thoughts about myself. Because one of the things also is that we need to start loving ourselves more, accepting ourselves, not trying to be perfect, not paying attention what other people think of us. We need to think good about ourselves.
Yes.
We need to love ourselves because we need to become happy people. And when you are happy, you know what happens? Sometimes it's like you get lucky. Things start coming to you.
Yes.
And it's hard. It hurts to believe, but it's because you got out of your way. You understand? Thinking and worrying, it gets on your way. And it delays the solution and it makes it harder and things. So, for me it was to become humble, to stop, listening to what other people thought of me, starting working on loving myself more, accepting, and realizing I didn't have to be perfect. I think those were unforgiving because I realized I was hurting myself. And I said, I'm not going to hurt myself anymore. I'm going to treat myself better.
Yes. Now we're coming to this topic of some consciousness and actually all those programs which are embedded there and which we replay all the time, from our memory. But before we go into this, I want to ask you, what do you think of what is this subtle machine software which we are using, namely mind, intelligence, ego? What is it? What's the interplay between those, and how do they affect our life?
I don't know if I understand your question, or I don't know if I have the answer. but I'll tell you how the Ho-oponopono works, and maybe that will explain or answer your question. The way that we understand it in Ho-oponopono is that, again, if you want to solve something in the physical, you have to work on your subconscious mind, because everything is a memory playing in your subconscious. So how the Ho-oponopono works is the cleaning. We call it cleaning, okay? So, or letting go and allowing divinity in you to erase, it starts by a choice or a decision that the intellect, again, because the intellect is the one that has the free choice. So let's say the intellect says, okay, I try so many things, I don't know where to run. I'm gonna let go and trust, yes? Or I'm gonna just say the 4 phrases, or thank you, or I love you. So it's like an order that goes from the intellect to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind makes a connection to the superconscious mind, because we all have a superconscious mind, because we were all created perfect. So again, we are not our thoughts, we are not our beliefs, our opinions, nothing, okay? So we are above all that. And that superconscious part of us is the one connected always to the cosmos, to the universe, to divinity, to everything. So again, when you have a problem, go to the top of the mountain so that you can see the whole picture, instead of, the intellect that thinks it knows and is very limited. So again, I don't know if I answer your question, but this is the way we understand that we really work. And that's how the cleaning, and what happens when you say thank you or you say I love you, what you are actually doing.
Is it necessary also to implement some other things in our life in order to really clean our mind, our existence, aside of those words, mantras? Do we need to change our daily lifestyle?
Not really, but you will change.
It comes natural.
Yeah. It will come natural. We don't have rituals. We don't have anything, you will get up in the morning, you do this or that. The idea is that this becomes like the breathing, 24/7, it's like your lifestyle. Your lifestyle to be an observer. Your lifestyle to be more conscious. To choose to let go instead, like we said before, having the last word on being right. So it is like you are choosing moment by moment. But the idea is basically to choose to let go. Again, I'm being more conscious, reacting less, engaging less, not taking things personal, like I said, working on loving yourself and accepting yourself just the way you are.
Yes.
And like I said, becoming a child again.
Yeah, these are all
I keep repeating, because that's kind of so basic, and at the same time, people think it's difficult. No, how you become a child again? No, how do you let go? No, it's so much easier than everything that we are doing. For example, people are so used to suffering. They think it's normal. Suffering is optional. We are going to have pain. We are going to have problems. But the suffering is optional. It depends if you react or not react, if you let go or not let go. So really, everything we are doing is very difficult, because it's totally unnatural. It's learned. And because, we thought that this was right, worry was right, thinking was right, having to go to university to be somebody was right, So we learned so many things, but they were all wrong. It was totally against ourselves, because we became very unhappy people.
Yes, I agree. And we have to deprogram ourselves from those harmful programs and put something new there, some exciting program. And that's where Ho-oponopono is amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. The idea is erase everything that is not working and making room for inspiration.
Yes.
We call it inspiration. Yes. So you move, it starts, things start coming to you. It looks like you are lucky now. Yes. Doors start opening, things start happening. You have everything. What you need to know is that you will have everything that you need when you need it, instead of, living in the future all the time, worrying about it.
Yeah. And also, when I was researching about Ho-oponopono, I loved this sentence: we clean and God wipes. Is it like that? We clean and God wipes.
Well, we say we clean and God gets to work.
Uh-huh.
Like you are allowing God. God is only waiting for you to give permission. It's always there for you, but you have free choice. So you have to ask for the help. Ho-oponopono is a way of asking for help. And Dr. Ihaliakala always said that. She says, can you imagine you just say thank you and God starts working for you, but you don't believe. So again, if you are giving permission, inspiration can guide you, you become lucky, really.
So I want to ask you, this is also a very important question. How do you perceive God, divinity?
Okay, yeah, it's a good question. Actually, I was not a believer. Yeah, I didn't believe in anything that I couldn't see or hear.
You were
Or
accountant,
touch.
tax accountant.
Exactly. Numbers,
Yeah.
Everything exact, and perfect. And when I started letting go and trusting, things started happening to me. And I really realized I was not alone. And so for me, God is a part of me, a more intelligent mind than mine. And a one, like I said before, is always there for you, waiting, because he gave you free choice. So for me, it's a part of us, of all of us, that we all have. That, again, sometimes you can call it a mind that is, more intelligent than yours.
Yes.
Basically, that knows better.
Yeah.
That created you, that knows you
yes.
better, that knows what is right for you.
Yes, thank you. But one might also say, well, why bother God to meddle in our karma, in our problems? Should we take care of that by ourselves and just worship him, for example?
But look at the world that we created. It's a very unhappy world. So, and we did it because we thought that we knew more than God. That's why, we mentioned before, becoming a little bit more humble and asking for help.
Yes.
That's what we have to do.
Yes, sure. I agree with that. But actually, I was thinking some people might say, well, why should he meddle in our karma? Is our karma. We made it. We should make ourselves better, get out of it, and give to him our best. Not to ask him for some things, but to give.
But no, we don't ask for anything.
That's
we
good.
Just we don't ask for anything.
Yeah,
we don't make any lists. We don't
that's
visualize.
Important. Yeah.
No, we are allowing God to bring us whatever is right and perfect.
Yeah.
And you have to trust that even when things don't work the way you expect them, it is perfect for you in this moment. Or sometimes it's not the right time or the right thing. But when you, again, live in the present moment, you always have what you need in the present moment. So it is accepting a lot of things, but we don't make any requests. We don't actually do things for disappear. For example, right now, I'm doing it not for my suitcase to show up. I hope it shows up. Yeah. But if it doesn't show up, I know there is a reason for that. And I'm working whatever attachments, I had. But I'm staying present, because if I get upset about it, if I get worried about it, or how am I gonna do? Because right now, I'm going to Turkey on a spiritual trip, and then from there to Madrid, and from Madrid to Zagreb, and I don't have any clothes, and I don't have any makeup or anything, so I had to go and rush and buy some things, and I will go on my way and see if the suitcase shows up somewhere, somehow.
Yes, or you will find...
But I'm staying present. What am I going to do? I'm going to worry. I'm going to get upset. I mean, I don't gain anything. So at least I'm present, I'm balanced, and I'm allowing for whatever is right.
Yeah, you are allowing yourself to... You're allowing yourselves to get more beautiful dresses, maybe more better makeup.
Maybe. But the thing is, when you are trying to be present and see what happens, and one of the things, Ines, that is very important, that some things happen to avoid others. So the intellect will never know. So you always have to say thank you, even when things that you don't like happen, or when things don't work the way you want. You want to say thank you too, because you don't know what could have happened. Yes,
I love that.
or
I love that. Yeah, that's
yeah.
amazing, because you
So
usually
go
excuse me.
ahead.
You go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Usually when something bad happens to me, I think like in this way. So this might be first, the first impulse is, oh no, why this is not according to my plan. So because I also try to, to be present, then I think, well, this has another reason. Something good might happen from this, something even better, some new opportunity.
Exactly.
And also,
exactly.
This thing which you said, that I might avoid something which I thought is good for me, but it's not.
Exactly. So you don't know, because when you trust, you learn that God always conspires to your best. You understand what I mean? So there is a blessing in this. There is something that was avoided, or something that I needed to work on myself. Yes. And it's an opportunity. So again, getting upset, worrying or something, nothing. Yes. So I said, okay, what do I have to do? Yes. I need to take care of this moment, what I need in this moment.
Yes. But now let's go deeper into techniques. So how exactly do we clean? What are all the tools and codes which you use? How, do you say these words like throughout the day? Are there some kind of specific times or the way you say it, or what do you do?
No, so like we said before, it's like breathing. So you breathe all the time. Yes, memories are playing all the time. So the idea is to be repeating in your mind something all the time. Now, the intellect might not do it all the time. Yes, and the intellect will still think that it knows. It will always keep having opinions and judgments and things like that. So the idea is how to train your inner child to do this for you. In Ho-oponopono, we say that the subconscious mind is our inner child. Yes. So the idea, for example, in the seminars, we do a process of connection with the inner child. But again, if you know, I mean, if you can understand that there is this part of you, and you can just talk to it like you're talking to a little child, we are not going to worry, we are going to let go, we are going to allow God. There is nothing we need to worry. We are, we are together. I'm not going to abandon you. We use those kind of things in order to make this connection. So the inner child is always observing you. It's like the same with our biological children. Yeah, they don't listen, they observe.
Yes.
So your inner child observes that you are committing, that you are doing your best, moment by moment, to be repeating, to be letting go, to try, not to react or engage, it's gonna do it for you. So you are gonna be in automatic. So if every time that you remember or you are conscious, you are gonna be repeating something.
Yes.
But there will be times that you are gonna go, your mind will go, and but then you have this part of you doing it. But again, it's about every time that you remember, just repeat. So like I said, I use a lot of I let go and trust in situations that are really fearful, or that I don't know where to run. It's like I let go and trust. I had a financial problem once, and I said, well, God knows why I'm here. He knows how much I need. I said, I'm not going to worry. And I'm not going to worry became my tool. And I always had money when I needed it. So again, I knew that the money was going to be there when I needed it. And it came from places I couldn't have visualized, imagine, nothing. So, I mean, again, we are not alone. That's the most important. And we don't have to do it alone.
Yes, all this Ho-oponopono, I mean, it's ancient technique, like wisdom coming from Hawaii. It reminds me a lot of Bhakti yoga. I know if you're familiar with the concept.
No, But even Buddhism.
It's a surrender. It's a surrender with love to divinity.
Exactly. Exactly. Becoming humble. Becoming
grateful, humble, learning to trust God.
And like we said, it's not irresponsible, it's work.
Sure.
And we are taking 100% responsibility, for our life and our creation and what we attract. So if we want things to change, we need to change. We need to work on ourselves and stop waiting for things happening outside.
Yes. Also, while I was researching for the podcast, I stumbled upon this tool called, I wrote it down just a second, Ice Blue or Blue Ice.
Ice Blue. Ice Blue.
What is it? Okay. I heard it's something because Ho-oponopono can be also used for physical problems. I hear.
Exactly. All problems.
So please, can you tell us more?
Yeah. So for example, before I go to the Ice Blue, I'm gonna mention, for example, light switch. We repeat light switch, light switch, light switch, like you're turning on the light, because a problem means that the light is off. If you turn it on, doesn't matter who turns it on, it turns it on for everybody. Because we say in Ho-oponopono, when whatever gets erased from you, it gets erased from your family, relatives, and ancestors. You're not doing it only for you. So you are doing it for you first. We in Ho-oponopono, we always put ourselves first. Because if we are not okay, you cannot give what you don't have.
Yes.
So we need to take good care of ourselves. That's not being selfish.
Yes.
Okay. So the idea is turning on the light. If you have a problem, turn on the light. But the thank you, the I love you, the 4 phrases, everything is turning on the light. Yes. And coming back to present, asking for help, allowing for inspiration to come. Now, we have many, many ways of doing it, and we learn a lot of different tools and ways during the seminar. But the Ice Blue, for example, I'm going to tell you a story, because I have a story with my little son when he was little. And I told him, Lionel, if you get hurt, you can just repeat Ice Blue in your mind. And it's like anesthetic, it's like it separates, the pain from the physical. And one day, I noticed he hurt himself, and I said, did you use the Ice Blue? And he was little, and he said, yeah, Mom. And if I get anxious, I also say Ice Blue and I calm down. So then I realized that it wasn't only for physical pain, it could be emotional pain too. It's like Teflon, it's something that can...
Some coats,
Exactly.
Amazing.
But we do have different things. Sometimes people think it's only the 4 phrases. Yeah. One day I gave a conference in Croatia, and they actually asked, he said, what is she going to do a whole day if all she's going to say is just say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you? No, but there is much more to Ho-oponopono than the 4 phrases.
Yes. And while you were saying that by cleaning ourselves, we also clean our ancestors, our family, offspring, future offspring. How does it work? How does it work?
Because we are not the ones erasing. Remember when I told you that you think you are cleaning with something, but that has nothing to do with it, because it's just memories and only God knows. So the thing is, when something happens with somebody, let's say you have a discussion with somebody, if you're willing to turn on the light, if you're willing to maybe keep your mouth shut, yes, and just repeat, because we do this mental, you might be surprised with the things, how the other one will change, or the other one will find the solution, or the other one will apologize, or whatever, or none of that, none of the above, but you are at peace, because that's what we are looking for, to be happy and at peace. So the idea is that when God erases in you, He knows what to erase in the other person, because we don't come together by accident. We have common memories. And God does it. It's not that you are invading the privacy of other people, nothing like that, okay? It's like, because you are not doing it, you are allowing it. So let's say that somebody comes with a problem to you, or you know that somebody has a problem. The best way to help is to let go and allow God to erase whatever is in you that has to do with this. But you are not doing it for the other one to save somebody's life. You don't do it for the other one not to die. You are not doing it for the other one to get to get well. You are doing it just for you. You know, you do your part. Like, for whatever is in me, I'm sorry, you know? Because like I said, Ho-oponopono really is, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that created this. So again, 100% responsibility.
Yeah, thank you. And this is going to be my last question. You wrote a book, Zero Frequency. Is that so?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is actually this zero frequency philosophy? What is it all about?
Well, zero frequency is I started doing seminars of zero frequency because I'm still an intellectual person. I can relate to intellect. I can relate to people that don't believe what I'm talking about, or things that I got crazy, or that I'm irresponsible. So I know what helped me to believe more. I know what helped me to become more humble, to start letting go and trusting. I know what changed my life. So zero frequency allows me to talk more to intellects, because Ho-oponopono is more for the subconscious mind. Yes, I'm programming the subconscious mind to help us to do this. So zero frequency gives me the opportunity to give experiences during the seminar, you know, to people. And also, I really emphasize a lot in finding your passion, your purpose, because for me, a perfect world would be one that we all do what we love.
Wow.
Yeah, we all would have money. We all would have all the resources we need. We would be loving people. We wouldn't be hurting anybody. You understand what I mean? A happy world. What happened is, one of the programs that we have is that we had to find a job. That's why people are so unhappy. They are working on things they hate. They never believe that they could do what they love and make money. Yes. So that's something that has to change. So for me, I mean, I wasn't planning to change careers. I did all this, first of all, not to teach anything, but I did it for my own sake, and because I was looking for happiness and peace. But in my personal life, I thought my professional life was working. So I really, it is about, you know, trying to put happiness and peace first, and then everything else comes. So zero frequency helps me to connect you with that, to give experiences to the intellect, so that it will choose to let go instead of being right. Yeah, we work on that. And then this book actually took me like 10 years to write. And guess what? It was published in 2020, finally. And you know, when I went to the recording studio to record the audio, I realized this book was for 2020, not 1 year before, not 1 year after. It is the best companion for this new era, for what we are going through, the fear and the programming, waking up to the programming, to realize we need to get out of this matrix, you know, and we can do it. It's just a decision that we have to make, a realization, you know, realizing what we are doing and say, hey, this is not working. I'm gonna change. Maybe there is an easier way.
Yeah, it's so much obvious during these last 3 years that we really have to change. I mean, with all the things which happen and are still happening in the world, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it's really wake up.
Yeah,
Like so many people are waking.
Yeah, thank God, but we still have a lot to wake up.
Yes.
And you know, Ines, I always say that I feel my mission is to wake up people. Ho-oponopono is my path, is what I chose. I know it works for everybody, it's not for everybody, but just wake up. That's the most important. Do something in the spiritual, because you are not going to find it anywhere else. So whatever is that resonates with you, but do something, and just please wake up. We need you.
Amazing. So for the very end, please tell us a little bit more what can we expect in seminars in Zagreb and Belgrade. What will be what will
yes.
be topic of your seminars?
Well, I want you to know that I'm very happy to come back to Croatia and Serbia. And I've been there. The last time was 2019. So I'm very happy for this opportunity. Saturdays, we talk about Ho-oponopono. Again, who am I? What is really a problem? How to solve them? What's the easiest way to solve them? Many different ways of doing Ho-oponopono, connection with the inner child, etc., etc. CO frequency is more interactive. Everybody kind of participates. We work with groups. We work, one-on-one and things like that. And we give opportunities for the intellect. Again, like I said, having experiences. We work on finding, our purpose. What is it that you would do even if you don't get paid because you love it? Because that's really your compass, that's your north. Yes, that's the way you should be heading to.
That's amazing. I will put all the details about the dates and the places of your seminar in the description of this podcast. And Mabel, thank you so much for your time.
Ines,
for your
thank
wisdom.
You so much. Thank you.
And
thank you.
I hope to see you possibly in Zagreb
okay, yes,
and to personally, talk to you and meet you. And
I would love to hug you in Zagreb.
Thank you so much, and all the best. And thank you.
Thank you.